How do you connect a lap scope? Let's find out. I'm commonly asked, how do you set up a lap scope? It's relatively simple. This right here is a BNC male connector. This is gonna screw on to your scope module or your lap scope tablet. As you can see on my mic sig, I have 4 channels and these are all female BNC. Then your scope's gonna have a positive and a negative lead. Think of a lap scope as a voltmeter that gives you a waveform instead of a digital readout. Now, I'm gonna set this up real simple. I'm gonna go across my battery. So this is gonna go to the negative side of the battery. This is gonna go to the positive side of the battery. Set it up. All right, so I'm gonna make my connection straight at the battery. And let's start this bad boy up. The other common question I get is, how do you set up your actual scope? Remember, a scope is going to be voltage over time, and this one has 10 gradicules up and 14 gradicules across. So this scope, 2 millivolts per division, 10 up, that's going to be 200 millivolts. So because we are going to be testing a battery, we would want to be at roughly 2 volts per division, giving me 20 volts for the entire screen. I'm going to remove all my cursors, which are the ones I use for measurements. This way the scope looks a lot cleaner. Then, because I am going to be testing the battery here, we want to make sure we're in volts DC. 1x is perfectly fine. Make sure we have no inversion and we are ready to test it. The other thing you want to do when testing a battery is make sure you give yourself ample time. I usually shoot for about 2 seconds per division. So that's going to be 2 seconds from this start to that of this little graticule here. So it's going to give me quite a bit of actual time, over 20 seconds for the entire screen. Beautiful. So I'm going to set my voltage cursors here, and notice before I start the battery we're at 12.4, and when I go to crank the vehicle my battery drops to 6.5, which is actually a problem. It shouldn't go below 8.5 volts. Then from there, if I move my cursor up to this point right here, I can verify that my alternator kicked on because it's giving me 14.5 volts. Always remember, anything above 12.6, it's not coming from the battery, it's coming from the alternator. And that's how simple it is to connect and set up a scope. It always depends on what you're actually testing. You want to know what the base voltage would be of whatever it is you're testing. If it's a sensor, think about 5 volts. If it's an actuator, go for 20 volts. This way it gives you some ample wiggle room, and then just play with it. The more that you make the connections, the more you actually test it, the easier it's going to become. I know this information was useful. Make sure you share it, like it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.